It's November 2003, a cold, grey evening in Blackpool. The streets are busy with people heading home, the neon lights of takeaways flickering in the drizzle. Somewhere in the crowd, 14-year-old Charlene Downes is walking through the town centre. She's been here countless times before, hanging around the fast food shops where men twice her age give her free food, cigarettes and attention. But tonight is different. Tonight Charlene Downes vanishes, without a trace. Her family never see her again. No calls, no sightings, nothing. For her mother, Karen, the nightmare begins immediately. Charlene had always come home no matter how late it was. But this time she doesn't. As the hours turn to days, the police are called. At first there's hope. Maybe she's run away. Maybe she's at a friend's. Maybe she'll walk through the door any second. But she doesn't. As detectives dig deeper, the truth starts to emerge. Charlene wasn't just a missing person. She was targeted. She was lured into a world she didn't fully understand, a world of exploitation, abuse and horror. And the men who had been so kind to her, they knew exactly what had happened. Two names surface: Iyad al-Batiki, a local takeaway owner, and his associate Mohammed Raouf. These men weren't just handing out free food to vulnerable girls. They were grooming them, passing them around and using them. And Charlene wasn't the first. For years, the backstreets of Blackpool had been hiding a dark secret, a network of men preying on young girls, some as young as 11 or 12. These girls weren't just being groomed, they were easy targets. They were offered food, alcohol, cigarettes, small comforts that masked the sinister reality of what was happening to them. But what happened to Charlene was even darker than anyone could have imagined. A chilling piece of evidence emerges: secretly recorded conversations between al-Batiki and Raouf. In these tapes, they joke about Charlene's fate. Al-Batiki is heard laughing as he boasts about what happened to her. He claims she was killed, that her body was never found because it had been chopped up and put into kebab meat. The words are so horrific, so beyond comprehension, that many refuse to believe it. But to the detectives listening to those tapes, it's clear. Charlene Downes didn't just disappear. She was butchered, and then possibly served to unsuspecting customers in takeaway food. But even with this horrifying evidence, the case falls apart. In 2007, al-Batiki is charged with Charlene's murder, and Raouf is accused of helping to dispose of her body. The trial begins. The Downes family finally believes they will get justice. But then something unthinkable happens. The case collapses due to police errors. The surveillance tapes, the crucial evidence, were mishandled. Witness statements were contradictory. The defense picks apart the prosecution's case, and in the end, al-Batiki and Raouf walk free. No one is convicted. Charlene Downes remains missing to this day. Her mother, Karen, has never stopped searching for the truth. Every day she fights for justice, knowing that the men who took her daughter are still walking the streets, free to continue their lives while her daughter was disposed of like garbage. This isn't just a Blackpool tragedy, it's a British tragedy. A young girl failed at every level, by those who preyed on her, by the authorities who couldn't protect her, and by a justice system that let her killers go free. Charlene's case exposed a much bigger problem: the systematic exploitation of young girls by grooming gangs operating across the UK. Blackpool wasn't the first town where this happened, and it certainly wasn't the last. And to this day, her family is left with one haunting question: did unsuspecting customers eat Charlene Downes?